Why play Jax Top? Well, he is a brilliant duelist, he scales very well into the mid and late game, he is a god tier split pusher, and he's naturally tanky and hard to kill. However, his tankiness is reliant on hitting his ultimate, and if he gets CC'd he will struggle to get onto his target. Jax's passive is each time he attacks he gains a stack of his passive which gives him increased attack speed, and this can be stacked up to 8 times. Jax's Q is a point and click ability which leaps Jax to a friendly unit, enemy unit, or ward. If he targets an enemy unit he also deals a chunk of damage to them. Jax's W is an auto attack reset which causes his next attack or his next Q to deal additional magic damage. When fully leveled, this ability has a very short cooldown so it can be absolutely spammed over and over again in fights. Jax's E causes him to spin his weapon around him for 2 seconds. During this time he dodges all incoming basic attacks and takes reduced damage from AoE abilities. This ability can be used again to end it early, and when the ability ends it deals damage and stuns all nearby enemies. Also, this ability deals 20% additional damage for each attack dodged up to 100% additional damage. Jax's ultimate has a passive where every third attack deals a large chunk of additional magic damage. The active causes him to deal damage in a circle around him. If this hits at least one enemy champion he gains a large amount of armor, gaining even more for additional champions hit. In addition, 60% of the armor gained is also gained as magic resist, making him incredibly tanky. Also, while he has these additional tanky stats, the passive in his ultimate will now trigger every second attack rather than every third. For combos, a great way to start every 1v1 is to Q onto them before auto-attacking into W. Follow this up with your ultimate and E and absolutely spam away with attacks. Also, bear in mind you will often need to use your E and ultimate at different times for different value. For example, sometimes you can hold on to them to get even more people stunned or even more people hit with your ultimate, and sometimes you'll need to use them earlier to keep yourself alive. Also, a great combo to start a fight is to use E first and then jump onto your target and detonate your E to stun. From here, auto-attack into W and ultimate before spamming away with attacks. This is a great way to engage if you need that immediate CC. For matchups, Jax does very well into champions who rely on auto-attacking and enjoy dueling, and he can struggle against champions who can easily avoid his E and kite him. For runes, take lethal tempo, it's just great with his kit. For build order, start Blade and Pot into tier 2 boots and a divine Sundra. After this, a Bork and Shojin are amazing pickups before finishing your build with any of these. For skill order, start E then Q then W before maxing W then E then Q, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, take Flash and Teleport. It's hard to be a split pusher in this meta without teleport. Starting the game, you should heavily prioritize farming and look to trade when it's free and easy for you. If your opponent uses an ability to farm or misses an ability at all, these are great windows to jump in on. Jumping onto your enemy with Q before using auto attack into W and then E is a great way to start every trade, and then you can either stun them and disengage or stun them and keep fighting. And of course, when you have your ultimate passive, you can hit a minion twice and then jump in with Q for an insane burst of damage. Entering the mid game, you want to stay in a side lane and hard split push, forcing any 1v1s that you can. As you win 1v1s and destroy towers incredibly quickly, this gives you an insane amount of map pressure, where the enemy team is forced to either send multiple people to stop you, in which case your team gets an objective, or to leave you alone and risk their base being destroyed. Entering the late game, Jax still wants to be hard split pushing before teleporting into a fight. If you have teleport available, make sure to split push the opposite side to the objective. However, without teleport available, split push near your team. When it comes to team fighting, if you can jump onto their backline without getting peeled off, go for it. However, a good default is just to spam damage into their front line knowing you'll shred them anyway, and then once all their peel's been used, jump onto a backline carry, stun them and blow them up.